Hey, what is up? Welcome back to another video. So what I have you guys for today is a really requested video on my channel, and everyone's been asking, what is your build? How can you run so fast? You know, why is your stamina pretty much never go down? And I'm gonna show you guys what I consider my movement speed assassin build, or my stamina movement speed build. You know, it's what I've been using the entire game, and it's what I focused my whole loadout on. I'll go going in detail, my armor pieces, even some of my weapons that I'm using, you know, all my passives, where to get them, all that great stuff. So stay for the entire video if you want to see how to get all the armor pieces, and if you want to also be able to run at lightning speed like I can. Now I'm going to show you guys what armor pieces I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Pearlbird mask, which I'll show you guys how to get at the end of the video. It's going to go towards the end. Then you have the Entomber armor, and then I got the Master Trader. Then for my backpack, I got Zorn's hunting backpack, which I made a video on yesterday. And then for my weapons, I have the Manicore dagger and the Skycrown's mace. Now for health, I did a little bit into mana, but mostly it was into health and stamina. And then these are all my stats when it comes to, you know, movement speed and reduction, stamina reduction and protection. So you can look that over if you want. You can pause the video as well. But this is the overall stats. You can take some hits. This is mainly more of a glass cannon and movement speed oriented build, but you can still take hits, and it's pretty good for close range and long range. Now we're going to go into the passives. I'll go in more detail eventually in this video. But the first one's going to be Marathoner, reduction in stamina while running, reduction in armor reduction. Then you have more increased auto repair. You have movement speed buff. You have the roll with the backpack. You just have this trap thing. If you're into that, then great, but it's not a huge deal for this build. Then you have the stealth, which is pretty important because it's more of an assassin build. You have some arrow or bow increased range. Next, you have a nice health increase by 40 and metabolism, which is lowered by 50%, so you don't have to eat or drink as much, which is pretty nice while you're running. Next, you want to go into Berg, which is the city inside the Embarker Forest. And this is the most optional of the trainers that you're going to go through. It's just because I do some bow, but you don't have to have it if you want to add on to what I've done. Anyway, the bow guy gives you the increased health. He gives you some nice abilities with bows, a piercing shot, which I made a video on, a one-shot build. It's one of my first videos for this game. And then you just got some, you know, buffs, which is, it's important for this build, but it's not the most important out of the other two. So next you want to head towards the desert. And in the desert you're going to have the next two trainers, which one is the rogue and one is the pistol weird dude, but they both have really important passives that's going to help with this build a lot. Now that we've made it into the desert, we're going to want to head towards the city where the remaining two trainers are going to be at. So I'm just running there right now, and as you can see, I'm pretty quick. I do have a buff on, so I think it was increased, what, 10% movement speed only. Right now, at least. Before I didn't, but right now I have a movement speed buff just so I can get to the city a little quicker. Now I know we're still going over passes, but I came across this dude right here who sells one of the armor pieces that you're gonna need in his build,
friend.
which are the Master Trader boots. And he didn't sell them right here. Usually he has them. If he doesn't have them, then you want to go to the city and just check out all the vendors there, and they could sell them there instead. So this is the first dude we have.
What can I do for you?
And he has Marathoner and the movement speed boost, which is easily one of the most important things in this build. The sprinting reduction is really nice to have, so you pretty much never have to worry about stamina or running. And then movement speed is obviously good. The pistol stuff you can use in this build if you want instead of the dagger. It's really up to you. There you have the auto repair and reduction in weight reduction for stamina loss. So you have that as well, which you can look forward to. Now on the map, you can just see where the trainer is, and it's pretty easy to find. Next, you want to head for the slums to find the rogue trainer, but before that, I'm going to stop by a vendor and see if he has any of the Entomber armor, because they usually sell them.
Oh, boy.
In this case, he did not have the armor, so I'm going to have to check some other vendors in this city a little later in the video. But, you know, just keep looking for those armor. They're not uncommon, so you should be able to find them pretty easy. And the slums real quick. I'm going to check one more trader or vendor and see if they have the armor.
You touch it.
She does not. So if you guys don't know where to get that vendor, I made a video on it as well, so you can go check that out if you want. We're gonna go up to the rogue trainer right now.
What can I do for you?
And you're gonna want to learn everything he has to offer here. I've yet to learn that dagger skill. I probably will, but I didn't have the silver on me, sadly. I left it in the other town, so... but yeah, he has some really good passives, including the rolling with the backpack and the stealth, which is really important for my build. And the rolling with the backpack is easily one of the best things in the game, because you just don't have to worry about dropping your backpack after every battle. And it's just something I need in my build now, because I'm so used to it. So before heading out, I checked this last trader,
This worries
and
me.
he happened to have 2 of the 3 things I'm going to need for my armor. So the Entombed armor right there, and then you're going to have the Master Trader boots, which are right below that hat. If you're running low in silver, some of these things in here are good alternatives as well. Like the Desert boots, I think they have a 10% movement speed buff. So, and the hat as well is some movement speed. Besides, it's a lot less than the bird, but the bird is probably one of the harder things to get in this just because of its rarity, but I'll show you guys how to get that as well. So we're actually going to head towards the beginning area in order to get the bird mask. And let me tell you, it sounds easy to get, and it can be easy, but it's just all down to luck. So what you want to do is hunt down the pearl birds, which are very easy to kill. You can 1 or 2 shot them, and here we go, taking one down. They're not hard to kill at all. But they do run, so you should probably be able to catch up to them if you can. Now, you have a really rare chance, and I believe it's something like a 10% chance of them dropping a mask. So you want to keep killing them until you get it. And I was in this area for a bit. Couldn't find it on this account, even though I had one. So I switched over footage towards the beginning where I actually got the mask. This mask can get really early on. I had very, very primitive gear at this point. I was able to take it down with ease. So even if you're starting, this is definitely one of the best things you can get at the beginning. Because who doesn't want to look like a bird and have a 20% increased movement speed towards the beginning? I mean, that mask is crazy. Even though it doesn't have a lot of protection, it's definitely worthwhile going back and trying to get this. Now, the only armor piece or thing I have yet to show you guys is the backpack. I just made a video on that, like I've said. So you want to go check that out if you want to find out how to get that, because it would take too much time going through that whole thing again. Anyway, I'm just going to go through and kill a bunch of guys now with this build, just so I can show you guys how the combat works. Having both a really good one-handed weapon and a dagger, I find to be quite effective. It's a good way of doing a lot of damage in a couple seconds, and especially how my Manicore dagger does poison. I can hit them once and then just sort of fight with my mace for the rest of the time while they're taking extra damage. And I know these guys are a little lower level because I went back towards the area, but this dude right here is still pretty damn powerful. You see how much damage he did to my health with that one attack? Now, I don't know why it's not letting me hit him, but when he's on the ground. There you go. Let me show you one of the cool things about this build. It's the dagger abilities. So, one of the dagger abilities is it does 3 times the damage if you hit him from the back. So while I'm fighting this guy, because of my movement speed, I'm able to hit him a couple times in front to slow him down with the ice. And then I'm going to run behind him and stab him in the back, one-shotting him. Just like that. Now, this is an example of overwhelming your enemy by pure speed. And this guy just... They didn't know what to do. When they try to attack, it just run past them. Take out his archer friend. This guy did a decent amount of damage. The guy has a cool shield. I'll probably show how to get that, but we're gonna kill him real quick. Having that backpack roll is pretty nice. With no slowdown, no stamina reduction besides a regular roll. It's quite useful in these types of battles. you have it. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button, sub if you're not already subbed, and turn the notification bell on because I'm doing a lot more of these types of videos in the future. Also, for those people that are interested in more builds, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to do a mage build or, you know, a heavy fighter, sword wielding maniac, I don't know. Whatever you want. So, anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.